Hey everybody, Deklan here. I'm an animation student at the online animation school, The Animation Course, taught by the wonderful Mr. Chad Stewart. Earlier this year, I participated in an animation festival called the Spring Wingding. We had 4 weeks to produce 4 animations between 3 to 5 seconds long. And at this time, I was neck deep in trying to finish my student film, Sammy's Situation, which you can check out on the channel. But I really didn't have a whole lot of time to spend doing other animations, exploring different stories, exploring different characters, trying new things with animation. It was really just all about getting Sammy out the door and communicating the ideas that I had already, sort of thought of conceptually in the storyboards. I couldn't just randomly throw things in. So this animation festival was a really good time for me to just take a break from Sammy and try something new. So every single week with each animation, I wanted to do 2 things. I wanted to tell a very, very short story. Sort of idea A transforms into idea B. Basically, I wanted to sort of give the audience something like, here's what you think's gonna happen once you see this, and then sort of flip it or change it or build on that in some way. And then I wanted to do something technically new, something that I had never done with the structure of animation, something I've never tried, something new and exciting. And it was a really great exercise, so I hope you'll enjoy. First up, we have springtime. So I didn't really have a super extensive plan for this because it was only the first week, but I knew I wanted to make a play on words because, it's springtime, baby. What's cool about this animation specifically on a technical aspect is that it is done in 60 frames per second. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one, but it didn't have a deep enough story and it was kind of just a silly little flower. So I wanted to make sure next week that I did something more heartfelt and deep from the story perspective. The prompt for week 2 is space. So with this one, I really wanted to make sure I had a really cool concept, something interesting, something pleasing. So I went through a lot of iteration with the idea. But what I eventually hit was a little girl who just loved space, who loved it as only a little kid can, with wonder and imagination. And so I played with this idea a lot more. I did some character designs. I really fell in love with the idea of her jumping on her bed, but I didn't think that it was possible for me to do what I eventually did with the camera. Yeah, spinning a camera in perspective in 3D, drawing the background and the character over and over and over again for every single frame, thankfully not 60 frames per second this time, it was back to 24, was really hard, but this is totally one of my favorites. Week 3 brings us the really cool prompt, fantasy. So with this one, it was so broad, I didn't really know where to start with it because I wanted to do more characters, I wanted to continue moving the camera around, but I eventually came to this idea of using this character named Ress, who I've had for a while now, who is a dog and also a human. He shifts back and forth. I wanted him to come in as a dog and then shift into a human and then pick a glass up and take a drink out of it. But after a few iterations, I realized I wanted to do it with 2 characters. But Ress was really fun to do as a dog character because I've never done quadruped animation before this. So not only did I get to do multiple characters, I got to do multiple characters that I had never tried animating before. So that was really awesome. Then last but certainly not least, week 4, animals. So I took a character from a story that I had been working on at that time, whose name is Rix, and he is a desert traveler. So with his pet bird, I used them as the focal point for the audience. So you go from seeing Rix first, then you go to the bird, then the bird points you towards the castle and the distance. So it allows your eye to be moved around in a very specific way. So not only do I get to do this really awesome, fully animated, fully colored background, I get to do bird animation, and birds are my favorite. So that's it. As you can tell by the change of lighting and my change of clothes, that was a very long time editing. Thank you so much for watching my animations from the Spring Wingding 2020. If you'd like to check out the animation course, I'll leave the description to their HQ down below. If you'd like to see other art and animation by me, I have made my animation portfolio reel available along with Sammy's Situation, my very first student film. If you have any requests for any art and animation videos that I can make, I would love to have a conversation. Anyways, without further ado, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!